Hey, welcome back to the channel. We've got snow coming, 4 to 6 inches I think they said. It's going to start off as rain, then turn over to a heavy wet consistency snow. I did manage to avoid having to get the snowblower on with the last storm. I just looked at the outlook and could kind of see that, yeah, we were going to get 2, 3, 4 inches, but it was going to be melting fairly quickly. So I avoided putting on the snowblower. I just used the rear blade and the bucket. I need to get that snowblower on today. And if you follow my channel, you've seen me take off the loader and put on the snowblower many times. However, today I'm going with a little bit different way of storing my equipment. I've always left this open so that we could park a car and the tractor. And over to my right here, I've always put the loader in there and tucked it away, and you're never going to get to that thing without a lot of work and moving a lot of stuff around here. I don't know why I didn't think of it. I think this will work, but I've decided the loader is going right here, right in front of these steps. I'll make it over a little bit. We always end up walking around the tractor anyway to get to the steps, to get to the upper level, which is where you guys are at. And this is just a straight shot in. I don't need to finagle, take my rear blade off to try to fit in between here to get it up against the wall over there. Believe me, it's been a mess. It's great because everything's tucked away and I can still use my garage, but I think I've been overthinking it. And now I should be able to put the loader here, back the tractor in with the blade underneath the loader arms, park it up pretty close, and still have room to park a vehicle. So let's get the tractor in here, let's drop that loader off, and we'll get the snowblower on. I hope you stick around. Okay, looks pretty good. I still think we got enough room to get up and down on the stairs. Let's get this thing taken off. All right, now that we've got this pretty much settled where I want, let's come back just a tad. Maybe more than a tad. Get those arms down. Get those loader locking pins out. Just going to curl the bucket, lift the tractor up a little bit. Flatten this bucket down. Almost forgot my third function lines. We're going to disconnect those before we continue on. Started to curl that, and I'm looking over, and those things had a lot of tension on them. Okay, we're now disconnected. The loader's disconnected from the loader housing. I'm just going to back this up and disconnect the hydraulic lines. Alright, release that pressure. I think this is going to work, guys. I'm going to take the tractor, back it out, get it a little further back, I should say, and then we will start adding the subframe, and then we'll pull over the front end snowblower. That's the B2752B. Thing weighs a ton. I'm sure there's an easier way for me to do this. Gotta have some sort of a triangular dolly system. Maybe someday. It's just the way that it sits and the way that I need this kind of bay to be open. I can't really have anything protruding out any further than it already does. So that's why I choose to just break my back and wrestle that thing around. Now, if I can remember correctly, I'm going to turn this thing all the way to the left in order to get the subframe on properly. That's the front wheels, I should say, not the whole tractor, just the front wheels. Because the pin that locks in the subframe won't go in unless you have the tires turned all the way. I got a 50-50 shot at this. Let's hope this is the correct turn. When you only do it once, twice a year, for me, I forget. One of the worst parts of this. There it is. And I was correct, by the way, as you can tell. All right, guys, that should control the up and down on the subframe, the snowblower subframe. Everything's locked in. All we have to do now is get that beast of a snowblower brought over here so that we can make our connection. Okay, here we go. Lined up. You guys want to help me out? Let me know if I'm lined up. I think you got a better view than I do. Yep, a little high. Thank you. Move the thing this far, might as well just do it by hand from here too. Locked and loaded. That would have looked so much cooler if I had just driven in and lifted the thing up, rocked it back, set it down, put the pin in. Oh well. You gotta have a lot of years of experience for that, I think. Especially being alone. I didn't want to hit this and dump this thing forward. Way too expensive and way too heavy. Okay, in this pile, we've got the left and right rotation, and this is my electric diverter. Took me a second. This is what will divert the hydraulic pressure from this left and right to go to the chute deflector up here and allow it to go up and down. Then you got to flip a switch. Now I think I've asked this before, so if you're still with me during this video, I have a third function. Obviously it's connected to the tractor. Why is it that it cannot be tied in to the deflector unit itself? I did buy this with the dealer building it with the third function, so it's not like I added the third function later and that's the issue. So I had the third function, but they still put a diverter in there. I'm assuming there's a reason, so I'm not complaining at all. It's just a matter of hitting a toggle switch, making your adjustments and moving it back. Not a big deal, works out pretty good. But since you have that up and down button on your joystick, would seem perfect for an up and down, for this to go up and down and you still have all your functions. So if somebody knows the answer to that, please share it with me, put it in the comments. I'd love to know. Besides trying to figure out a way to run some lines that go all the way to the front into this, you know, instead of being that it's into this diverter. I guess this is a diverter housing. I would just like to know, because it would be nice to have that function instead of hitting a toggle and all that stuff. All right, now for the fun stuff. I hate doing these pigtails, and a lot of people have gotten away with done away with these, and I can totally see why. It's just, the first two hoses are fine. Once you try to get these other hoses in here, major pain in the butt. Surprised more people don't tear hoses. Luckily I've got this covering on here, but it does get worn. Got to kind of watch it. So there's 3. That ain't too bad. But again, here we go with the fourth hose. And it's just very, very tight in these pigtails. Okay, where are you? Try to tuck this. I always try to keep it up underneath. That way it's protected from the elements. There we go. All right, there's that one hose. There we go. All in, yes. Just giving myself a little bit there. I don't want a lot because the tire will hit this. But just for the up and down, wanted there to be a little bit of a play in there. All right, that should be good. Only we got left is we've got to hook the PTO into the blower. That can be somewhat of a pain. Unhook this. This has to go in a special way, so I find it to be easier. It looks like it's square, but it's actually slightly rectangled. So to get this to line up is way easier to do on this end. Now, I've done this before. You've got to have this thing already sitting in here. I've been so proud of myself and then realized, oh, now I can't get it in because that's too much. All right, where are you? Oblong. There we go. All right. So that part's in. Like I said, make sure you've got this inside the subframe housing. And then you can put that on the PTO shaft. And then you gotta get this one lined up, which you can rotate around until you find it. There we go. Put this back up, don't have it sitting around your PTO. You'll shear that right off. Okay, that part's done. Just have the mid PTO to add. Now we're adding that mid PTO shaft. Same type of thing, you want to do this end first. This is towards the front of the tractor. Once you get that in, Then here's the mid PTO, and we're gonna get that lined up. Pull back the collar. Oh, you son of a gun, I had you and then you slipped. There we go. That's why you always want to give a tug on this. That pin didn't lock around the indented collar. All right. Looks like we are ready for action.